Hi, my name is Jack Bauer. I am a librarian at the Tigard Public Library, and I'm here to share a few books with you for Black History Month. So this year, the theme of Black History Month is about African American impacts on the arts. And one book that I read that has really shaped my understanding of popular music and the way that music has moved through the Black community is this book. It is called Dilla Time, The Life and Afterlife of J. Dilla, the hip-hop producer who reinvented rhythm. One of the things that I think is so great about this book, so it is a biography, it is about this one guy, but in telling the story of this guy, it spends a lot of time talking about different musical scenes in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, how the threads of those musical scenes kind of built up into the 80s with the explosion of hip-hop, and the ways that that generation started reusing, remixing, resampling all of this music that they'd grown up with. So first of all, it talks a lot about kind of like how hip hop came out of all of these other musical traditions. Then it talks about how hip hop was shaped by the technology that was available at the time. So there's a lot in here about like specific musical instruments like the 808 or the MPC sampler and the ways that the limitations of those instruments actually came to shape the way that hip-hop sounded. And then, where you get into Dilla, is how this one producer, who didn't do a whole lot of, didn't have a whole lot of credits in his life, but how his relationship to those instruments impacted a lot of the folks around him. He was in this big group of musicians that included like The Roots and Tribe Called Quest and Erykah Badu, and how the way that he was using these instruments, the way that he was thinking about rhythm really kind of redefined the way that hip hop sounded right around the late 90s, early 2000s. It's a terrific book. My favorite thing about this is if you go on Spotify, you can find a playlist of every single song that is mentioned in this book. It's like 600 or 700 songs. And as I was reading the book, I was also like going song by song through that playlist and just, hearing the way one song gets sampled by one person, then gets sampled by another person, and just the transformative nature of hip hop production just was really super eye-opening to me. And I think that a lot of folks would like this, even if they don't think they like rap. It says so much about culture and about the way that sounds develop. So that is Dilla Time by a professor named Dan Charnas. One of the best books I've read about music in years and years. So that is one of my recommendations for Black History Month this year.